What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Awakening World. I'm your host, Love Coach Scott Katamas, and it's really beautiful to be with all of you. I want to acknowledge that we have about 150 Facebook groups and pages watching us tonight. Thank you so much to John and Summer Raymer and the Sign Network for getting this out to so many places. And we're here to celebrate the spirit of Martin Luther King. We're here to celebrate not just a weekend that we honor him, but the entire vision of this man that has now become a national holiday, which is very, very beautiful. And so we're going to hear from some of my favorite people that I have tremendous respect for, sharing how the vision of Martin Luther King inspires them. And may we all kind of share with that, learn from it, and grow from it. I want to show you who's going to be with us. We have as our keynote speaker, Sharif Abdullah, and he is one of my favorite people to speak to. This man has traveled, if I recall correctly, it's 85 different countries. I probably have the number wrong. Give or take the 5 or 6 he's visited in the last month. But he travels all over the world and has a true understanding or exploration of humanity. And I just so respect Sharif's wisdom and his humanness. So thank you, Sharif, for being with us. We also have with us Dr. Marty Casey, who always brings so much passion to everything she does. And she is the founder of the Ungun Institute. She is making great, great work in the world. And she's working at the White House now. So thank you, Dr. Marty, for being with us. I know you are also somebody who's always traveling all over, doing amazing things. So it's great to have you with us. Thank you so very much. And it's a Saturday night, so we always have wonderful music. And tonight, I'm really, really happy that Nina Gray, one of our favorite musical artists, is back with us. And she's just moved to New York. So she brings a little bit of California flavor usually, and now New York flavor. And most of all, just one of the great hearts and one of the great voices. Nina, thank you so much for being with us. And yet there's more. Shadia, Dr. Mama Ivy is with us, and she has some wisdom to share. She has a sound bath to provide us with, a sound meditation. She's going to be our transition point to the tribute that we're planning on doing for our dear beloved Shri. And I guess I'll mention that before I mention the other people that are going to be with us. Most of you may know by now that our beloved brother, Sri Ram Ka, very suddenly got ill and passed away this week. He and his beloved wife, Kira, have a global community. They've been on this show many times, going way back. to the Saturday Night Alive days. I know that many of the people that are part of the Global Peace Tribe community, are part of their community, we're all in shock over his passage, and we are going to have a tribute to this beautiful, beautiful man later on tonight. And a big part of that tribute is going to be one of our other musical artists who's with us, Fanny Starchild. Fanny, of course, knew him personally, played at his retreat in Los Angeles, and she and her harp will be with us tonight. Also with us for a big part of this tribute, our wonderful friend, the wild monk of the Mystic Monastery, Jerry Anderson. And when Jerry learned that Sri was ill, he flew down to Ecuador to be with Sri. So Jerry is going to kind of give us a report of what took place there. And so we're really happy that you're with us. Thank you so much for being with us, Jerry. And we're going to start our show in a moment with Reverend Retta Morgan. She was just on the show a few weeks ago. She is also a bright light, a member of the Evolutionary Leaders Network. I get to collaborate with her as part of the Artists Catalyzing Evolution, and she's going to share with us how Martin Luther King has inspired. She's going to lead our evening meditation. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful show. We also definitely want to hear from all of you. So please put into the chat box how Martin Luther King may have inspired you in your life. I'm going to want to read some of those from some of you. We want to make it interactive, and thank you for that. So we're going to start off by showing a video. And for those of you who were with us last week, you already saw it. And you will be happy I'm showing it again because it's wonderful. It was created by our good friends, Pato and Antoinette. It's a beautiful, beautiful video. And so I think you'll enjoy it. It's dedicated to our beloved brother, Martin Luther King. And I think that in that wonderful way that Pato has of just joyfully celebrating. And this is actually recorded. They took his recording, and it also shows the live event that they do every year for Martin Luther King Day. So here we go. Let's celebrate our beloved brother forever, Pato, and our beloved sister, Antoinette, as they share their tribute to Martin Luther King.
Yeah, this one is dedicated to the King, Martin Luther King, our civil rights champion. Understand me, no man. And this one is dedicated to all the people all over the world, to every man and woman, every boy and girl, to everyone who believes that equal rights and justice should apply to all, regardless of our color, class, or creed. This one's for Martin Luther King, our frontline soldier, Martin Luther King, our peaceful warrior, Martin Luther King, our civil rights leader, Martin Luther King. This one's for him. Well, just like MLK, I have a dream today. And like Bob Marley, I got so much things to say. Hey, wanna talk about empathy, equity and equality. Wanna talk about ending war and how to end poverty, how to end racial hate and police brutality. Cause where there's no justice, soldier, there can be no peace. Seems like humanity is in a state of emergency. We need more ethical leaders with a sense of integrity, like Martin Luther King, our frontline soldier, Martin Luther King, Our peaceful warrior Martin,
Martin Luther King,
our civil rights leader Martin,
Martin Luther King.
This one's for him. You see, there are so many problems, and we need some solutions. Yes, let's get together now and start a love revolution. And we can't stop, no, we can't slow up. We gotta keep pressing on. If you can't run, then walk. Can't walk, then it's time to crawl. He said, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Darkness can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. He said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I've decided to stick with love. Hate is too much to bear. He said, you can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. You see, unconditional love will rule in eternity. He said, the time is always ripe to do what is right. Lord, I hear the voice of Jesus say, don't give up the fight. He said, where do we go from here? Chaos or community, my people. Instead of fighting each other, show some unity. He said, we fight injustice with civil disobedience. So speak up, don't be silent, and always remain non-violent. Yeah, let's work it out, don't fight it out. Come on everybody, let me hear you sing it.
Let's work it out, don't fight it out.
This one is for the king.
Let's work it out, don't fight it out.
Come on everybody, one more time.
Let's work it out, don't fight it out.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta come together.
This one's for Martin,
Martin Luther King,
What is your purpose in life?
our frontline soldier Martin,
Martin Luther King,
our peaceful warrior Martin,
Martin Luther King,
our civil rights leader Martin.
Martin Luther King,
This one's for him. This one's for Martin,
Martin Luther King,
our frontline soldier Martin,
Martin Luther King,
our peaceful warrior Martin,
Martin Luther King,
our civil rights leader Martin.
Martin Luther King.
This one's for him.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the railroad, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Isn't that a powerful, powerful video? They just did such a great job with it. We should all watch it every week, right? Anyway, I am really happy that Reverend Retta has agreed to kind of kick us off this evening. I'm still kind of touched by that video, to be honest. It just knocks me out. Anyway, welcome, Reverend Retta. Thank you so much for being with us. And how does that video? I saw you moving to it, and I saw you kind of relating to it.
Sure. Yeah, it's very powerful, isn't it? The rhythm, the passion of the performers, the movement of groups of people just vibing to this extraordinary, huge galactic truth, the truth of envisioning a world where everyone has what they need, where there is justice, what he stood for. And just the idea of all of those people moving and vibing to that. I have to think that's part of the medicine of all time, especially of our time, that movement and being able to remember that message, to embody it, to move with the sound of I have a dream, to have it in your embodied, when you talk about which I'm very excited to talk about with you, how do we keep his dream alive every day? And so if we move to it and get it in our bodies, it is there, right? It is there. We get to access it because we have taken it in, really taken it in. Yeah, it's a beautiful video for sure.
I'm going to read just one comment, Reverend Retta, we've gotten a lot of comments, but I'm going to read one comment because I like to include our audience. This is from Dr. Laura, and she writes, because of the depth of my love for Martin Luther King, I talk to him all the time on the other side of the veil. Can't say that I get direct messages, but I do get overshadowed with his energy, and it always helps me to rise to the occasion and stand up against injustice. So thank you, Dr. Laura. That's a beautiful example. And Reverend Retta, I want to turn it over to you. Tell us about your life, your world. You're doing powerful work in the world. Tell us a little bit about how he inspires you and what you take from it and how you move with it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott, for the opportunity to share. Let me first say it's an honor to be here with all of you, and a special and particular honor to be able to speak about how Dr. King influences my life. I am an interfaith minister. I get the privilege and honor to work as a facilitator, as a musician, as a grief worker. I spend a lot of time working with young activists in particular, folks who have been disillusioned by religion, and part of my calling is to walk with folks and invite them into some kind of spiritual practice or life. So it is my passion and my love, and I get to share that work in many different places. I'm currently in a traveling ministry that's taking me at many places: South Africa, Alaska. I'm currently at a retreat center in Pennsylvania. So yeah, I get to do work that I love, and I'm very grateful for that. And I will say for sure that Dr. King has inspired a lot of what I'm doing. I believe my approach to my work is inspired by his dedication, his brilliance, his tenacity, his joy, right, as well as his prophetic truth telling. Dr. King for me was a consummate theologian. I grew up Christian. I am not now, but I have such deep respect from where he drew his strength and his analysis and his truth telling from. It was consummate how he knew the stories of moving toward freedom, the stories of how liberation sat in a biblical sense, and how to apply that to communities in the sense of a neighborhood, all the way out to the community of the world. And so very, very powerful. He was a citizen. He was well informed by the history, the current history. Things were happening all around the world Dr. King would refer to, as well as his historical aspects, particularly of the Black experience and beyond. He was a masterful spiritual leader. His light was bright around the world. And so I get to try to stand as tall as I can, not even thinking about standing anywhere near that, but just to stretch to wherever my strengths are, because folks like him stood before me. Yeah, it is a privilege to be here and to share. And I'm excited to share a little bit about what I've been reflecting on, this idea of carrying Dr. King's message and teaching into our everyday lives. So it's not just, the one day that we hopefully are in service, but that we can keep that message going. And so I'd love to share a couple of ways that I do that. In particular, I find messages that I want to continue to draw from, and I look at some aspect of that every day. So I may read a passage of his, and if it's one that really inspires me deeply, I may read it every morning, a couple of weeks, usually something, a couple of minutes worth of reading, so I can digest it and just take it in and allow it to sort of work on me or in me. And if I can refer to that piece of writing at some point during the day in a conversation and that kind of thing, then I know that my consciousness is holding the idea. And I think that it's not just the reading and the memorizing, but it's something about to take it in, like to digest it. That's the word I'm looking for, to digest it, and to then metabolize it in such a way, how it's like you learn a skill, and when you first learn it, you kind of are a little awkward, but once you keep practicing, you get to the stage where you don't have to think about it, you just do it, right? And so that's what I aspire to, is that I remember the teaching and I read it over and over again. I reflect on it. I ask the question, what does this passage mean to me or mean for me at this time? I think that's another important piece. As I grow, hopefully, the teachings have different meanings at different points in my life, right? And so I get to track that. I get to be aware and notice what different passages do for me at a certain point. So yeah, those are some of the things that I do. I love to sing his words. I believe in the vibration of song, so I very easily take some passages and just sing them, and that gets into my heart, and that's a way to keep those words alive. And then, beyond, so these are all the things that I do to sort of ingest the words, and then it's about going out into the world and being about those passages, right? And so I mentioned earlier, I get the privilege to work with young people, about 20 to about 35, 40. The older the older you get, the older the young people get, or how's that go? Right, yeah. So my young people are 20 to 40, and so I get to talk with them and see how they reflect on Dr. King. We get to remember together. And I think that may be a really important piece. It is in community that I think his dream can be most alive and vibrant, and have the biggest impact. So those are some ideas that.
Well, I know you're about to lead our evening meditation. And if you want to add some a cappella singing, that is always welcome, no pressure. And by the way, Zoom's been good. I know before we went on camera, Zoom was but the Zoom has been great. We've been hearing and seeing you perfectly. And would you be willing to lead our evening meditation?
I'm so grateful. I would love to. So I would invite each of you who is listening in this moment to begin with a deep breath, a deep cleansing breath. I invite you to take another. And in the ways that you settle into your chair, settle into the place where you're sitting in this moment, I invite you to just notice, how are you? How is your body? How is your mind? How is your spirit? Just notice. Allow your awareness just turn and inward so that you can sort of scan where and how you are. And I invite you to keep breathing into that. The invitation is into the realm beyond our everyday speech and that exchange of speaking and understanding. We get to breathe ourselves from the realm of talking back and forth down into the realm of the I am, of the eternal, the ancestral realm, the realm of the divine. One breath away, always one breath away. So breathe with me. We get to settle, allowing our concerns before this moment to melt away. With every breath, we get to drop in, drop down, expand outward, rise up and ground. So continue, if you will, to notice, to breathe, and deepen into this moment. Allowing your body to melt, to sink into where you are, knowing that our precious Mama Earth will catch us as we fall back into the most relaxation we can conjure up in this moment. Keep breathing with me. Now, in my mind and heart in this moment, I want to share a phrase that came forth, I believe, for tonight. It's a phrase from a hymn from my childhood, and the words are, we're going to sit at the welcome table. Let us all sit at the welcome table. I invite you to breathe in those words, to sit in the welcome table, to sit on, to sit with the welcome table. And the welcome table in this moment is made from love. It's made by love. It's made for love. And you have a seat, a central seat at this table. And at this table, there is space for every human being as a mighty table. And there is also space for the more than human world. It is, in fact, a mighty table. So I invite you, as you are breathing into your body and noticing, to allow yourself to take your place at the welcome table. And at this table, you get to look around. Each one of us will have our own experience at the table. Who can you see at your table? Who is the community, the faces that you see? And if you don't see the faces, the sense that you have of the folks at your table. What are those folks that you are in community with now? Close in folks, your family, friends, community. Just keep seeing that table, and the table gets to keep growing as you add more faces. Places around the world you get to imagine in the space of this welcoming table. And I'm going to invite you also, as you continue to check in and see who's with you, see if you can't stretch a bit and imagine someone or someone's at the table that you may not be in the best relationship with. Imagine, because this table has a seat for every human being, some of those folks we may not be in close in relationship with. So imagine as broadly as you can and still feel joy at the center, still feel safe, as broadly as you can, that there is a wide, diverse gathering of folks at your table. This table made for and by and of love. This is a table that folks have been gathering and being seated at for hundreds of years. And we get the privilege in this moment to imagine that table full and complete, everyone seated at the welcome table. And let's breathe together as we know, even if we can't see, the table's so big we can't see all the faces, but we can feel every one of those hearts. Feel your welcome table. Drink in the beauty of gathered souls, fed by, led by love. Enjoy. And so together, as the last one is seated, we get to notice an incredible opening. We've been waiting for eons, lifetimes for this moment. We get to imagine together that that last one sits, and there is a lifting, there is a vibration, a sound, a call that comes out from the center of that table and fills each one of us, all of us, with the expectation, the gift, the dream, the vision of liberation and a just world, grounded in love, expanded by joy. And we get to breathe into that vibration, that sound. The coming of heaven on earth, the uplifting of love in the name of everyone being fully who they came to be. We get to hold this vision together. We get to drink in the vibration of that table. We get to sing, we get to hum, we get to be that vibration together in this meditation. Drink it in, if you will. Keep loving on everyone in that table, on that table that you can see, the faces that you can see, and the hearts that you can't see, but you can feel. Just keep radiating love out. As we sit at the welcome table, we sit at the welcome table, we sit at the welcome table, and we drink in our love. Yeah, we sit at the welcome table, and we drink in our love. We sit at the welcome table, and we drink in our joy. Drink in our joy. Breathing together, allowing for that table and the vibration to fill us all across the Zoom boxes and the Facebook and the YouTube, just allowing that sense and that vibration to spill out and over, beyond technology into the streets and the water and the sky and the wind and the snow and the sun. Just imagining a world dreaming together, the next iteration of Dr. King's dream, dreaming together justice, love, liberation, equality, breathing, drinking in together the possibility, the reality from our thinking, from our movements, from our actions. May we be joined, sisters and brothers, may we be joined by the deep love of our brother Dr. King right now and on across the days, the months, as we head into what some say is a challenging year. May we remember the vibration of the welcome table and take it with us wherever we go. We get to stand, bow to your left, your right, and bring ourselves back into the Zoom room. Bring the memory and the vibration of the welcome table with us into the sacred now and onward as we go. Ashe, 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 ashe.
Ashe. Thank you for bringing us all together in that beautiful welcome table. That's just a beautiful, beyond meditation. It's a way of holding life. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Loretta, thank you so very, very much. And I didn't have a website for you. Is it best to still go to your Patreon page?
The website should be up. Did it not?
Can you put it in the chat box real quickly, please? Put it in the chat box because I wasn't able to find it. I only
All
found.
right, I'm going to see how. All right, I'm going to see if I can do it quickly.
You know what?
Scott,
Pop
I
it
don't
in,
know.
and we'll go back to that after Nina's song. How does that sound?
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. And by the way, I think when I was doing the introductions, I think I forgot to mention Omashar. Somebody said, well, what about Omashar? Never fear, Omashar is here. However, we are going to go to a musical moment, and a musical moment is going to go to the wonderful Nina Gray. I'm so grateful to have Nina with us. Welcome back, Nina.
Thank you so much, Scott. And thank you, Rev Retta. That was so grounding, so expansive. I feel so open and full of love from that meditation. Thank you. Thank you. It's a real honor to be here. And I really commend the continuation of honoring this legacy and this man and this movement long after last weekend. That says a lot about the intention here. And I was so excited to join this group. I think, from a young age, my father was very adamant about me knowing Martin Luther King's legacy and the totality of his legacy. The fact that he questioned our imperialism and our military and capitalism and issues that for an awakening world, I think we're all trying to reimagine in ways that don't create oppression, that don't create hierarchies, that create sustainability and well-being and thriving for all. And when I think about Martin Luther King, I think about the fact that the movement, when he was part of it, was not a popular movement. In 1963, he was named the most dangerous Negro in the country. And, it's something to remember, I think, in these times, and something that I call on when I write music or share music, because it takes a certain courage and bravery sometimes to speak truth to power. And as he would say, the time is always right to do what's right. And, sometimes it may not be the popular action. It may be the thing that gives us pause because it will disrupt the status quo, or it will rock the boat, or it may cause a little bit of friction for us to stand up to injustice, to speak our truth around issues that are plaguing and affecting our humanity and the survival of our species. But it's so important. And I think if we can live out Martin's legacy in any way, it's to move with the conviction and the courageousness and the vision that we can live in a world that is better, more united, more equal, where everybody is treated rightly and justly, and that love is the currency that we get to exchange with one another. So cheers to his nonviolence, cheers to his courage. I want to share this song, Legacy, as an invitation. I have shared it on this show before, but I think it's apropos to share it honoring Martin Luther King. This song was written in 2017 when there was a really important inauguration happening of a new president in our country. And it seems like the way the world's spinning, this situation is happening again. And so this was a call and a question for what do we stand for as a nation, and what is the legacy that we want to leave behind. So while I am singing this song, I invite you to share in the chat, what is the legacy that you personally intend to leave behind, or what part of Martin Luther King's legacy do you intend to carry forward through your life? I hope you enjoy this song. Are you looking to be entertained? Well, I don't know if I can help today. So many questions on my heart, on my brain. No, I don't want to just entertain you. Are you looking for distraction? I mean, is that your course of action? Don't get me wrong, there is a time and place for fun. I ain't looking to distract no one. 'Cause there's change brewing, no longer is it deep beneath the surface. The way this train's moving is forcing us to think about our purpose. And I'm not scared to sing revolution. My soul won't rest until we find solutions. It might take all day and night or the rest of our lives, but it's worth a try. 'Cause in a few years our bodies return to the earth. Our bones and blood will become one with the dirt. And I know you want your moves to matter. So the young souls know that love is all we were after. What do you stand for? What brings you to your knees? What do you live for? What are you dying to see? What did you come here for? And what will you leave when you're gone? What lives on is your legacy. What do you stand for? What brings you to your knees? What do you live for? What are you dying to see? What did you come here for? And what will you leave when you're gone? What lives on is your legacy. What do you stand for? What brings you to your knees? What do you live for? What are you dying to see? What did you come here for? And what will you leave when you're gone? What lives on is your legacy. What do you stand for? What brings you to your knees? What do you live for? What are you dying to see? What did you come here for? And what will you leave when you're gone? What lives on is your legacy. I wanna know, what are we fighting for? What are we dying for? Thank you.
Oh my. Oh my. Wow. I'm gonna go to gallery view. I kind of taken aback. But let's give a beautiful, beautiful Global Peace Tribe Twinkle for that amazing passion. When you hit, what do we stand for? I got just a lightning bolt through my body, Nina. Mm, wow.
Thank you for feeling, thank you for amplifying all of these voices. You know, I think it's such an important question going into another election year, whether you're politically apathetic or you're hopeful. I think, you know, we deserve to stand for something that is worth passing to the next generation, and will create peace internationally. You know, we have such a big presence internationally, so there's such a great opportunity to bring healing and peace with our presence as a nation, and I can only hope that we move in that direction collectively.
Mm, thank you.
Yeah, I love seeing all of these legacies too, to help bring a limited abundance to humanity and standing for truth and peace, justice, and truth. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nina is going to be back with us for one more song in a few minutes, but I do want to alert people to her website, and it's her name, Nina Grae. She spells it NINAGRAE, GRAE.com. And I want to really encourage you to go there and support her, buy her albums, and ideally join her Patreon program. It's a beautiful, she's very, very generous with all that she provides her Patreon members. And, you know, we support many of our friends through Patreon. So it's a beautiful website. There's Nina offering all sorts of wonderful things. So it's Nina Grae, GRAE.com. And she will be back with one more song in just a little bit. Thank you so much, Nina.
Thank you, Scott.
Well, it is time for our keynote address. And right away, I was hoping that Sharif Abdullah would be available. And thank God for all of us, he is. And here he is. And Sharif, thank you for being with us tonight. And I'm just very eager to hear what you have to say, what your inspiration has been, and your thoughts of how we can carry on his vision, his spirit throughout the year. So with no further ado, it's our friend, Sharif Abdullah.
Well, thank you, Scott. And it is always a pleasure to be here. Always difficult to follow Nina. I think it's interesting. Nina and I haven't spoken in a number of months, but the song that she just sang is a perfect lead-in for everything that I'm about to say. So thank you for the telepathic connections here. Hopefully this will look smooth. I wanted to talk about, we can honor Dr. King, and for those of us who were of the age that we were actually in, we could see what was happening day by day by day. We could see the difference between setting a goal and then achieving the goal. I mean, the idea was we're going to have civil rights for all, that we will have voting rights for all. And then Congress passes it, and then you have voting rights, and then you have civil rights. Now, we seem to have forgotten that because we don't have those kinds of goals anymore. We don't have those kinds of connections with each other anymore. We don't have those kinds of drives anymore. I went to an early demonstration at for Occupy, when Occupy was doing its thing. And there were people there holding up a bunch of signs, and three signs struck me. One of them said, "Reform the Fed." The second one sign said, "End the Fed." And the third sign said, "Smash capitalism." Now, right there, you've got three completely contradictory goals. They all cancel each other out. And so everything, so the status quo stays the same because we don't want to think about what is it that we stand for. We don't really want to think about what is it that I am willing to spend my life for. I really wish I could say, I'd be lying to you if I said I was with Dr. King the whole time. When Dr. King was assassinated, I was 16 or 17. And the thing I said at the moment of his assassination is something I have regretted for most of my life, and I am going to continue to regret for the remainder of my life. What I said was, anyone who goes up against the white power structure without a gun gets what they deserve. Now, it took me another 5 to 7 years to even begin to understand what he and our other leaders meant by nonviolence. And when I turned some age or another, when you have a lot of age behind you, now it all starts to run together. But I was in my early 30s, and I went to Dr. King's tomb, and I swore an oath at Dr. King's tomb that I would practice by thought, by word, and by deed nonviolence. And I'll try to live up to that awesome responsibility, because this is the coming together of our practical life on this earth and our spiritual life in transcendent realms. We put both of them together and we start seeing that how we act has to reflect our spirit. You can't have your spirit over here and then your actions over there. But what I want to talk to you about tonight is something that I call the 3Ds: discipline, direction, and devotion. And those three things have to come together in order for us to make any kind of a change on our planet. And they have to come together, but they have to come together in you first. In the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to a number of people, a number of young people. Yeah, and young people means anybody younger than me. And they are talking about being burned out. They're talking about being frustrated. They're talking about being feeling like they're not making any progress, feeling like there's not an agenda present. Okay. And when they're talking about all of this, I keep saying, well, what's the direction? What's your vision? What's the vision? Well, I want to see a clean atmosphere. I want to see all of the fields covered with grass. I want to see capitalism smashed. And when we start popping like that, we don't hold the meta vision, the whole vision, the vision of all. So, about 25 years ago, I wrote a book, and it's called Creating a World That Works for All. And for 25 years, I've been holding that meta vision. I've been holding the vision so that we, all of us together, can line up like the iron filings under the magnet. So we can line up and we can get a clear vision and direction. And people haven't been lining up. It's interesting that more and more people are literally around the world, and interestingly, a lot of folks in Europe, more people in Europe are saying that than are that talking about creating a world that works for all than here. But one of the things that we do is we sink down into whatever the most convenient language that we're hearing at a given point in time. Yeah, so and so does a really good speech, so we start parroting that speech. So and so says something inflammatory, so we start parroting that inflammatory. We don't stay on course. So why do you think that we don't have a course? Of course we don't have a course. So staying on direction is really important. Having discipline is really important. There are times when I want to just verbally castigate somebody. And we've had leaders, and maybe have leaders in our society that deserve castigation. But that's not the issue. It's not what I want to do. That's what will be effective in changing our world and changing our society. If it's not going to be effective, why are you doing it? Well, you're doing it to feel good. We've all heard the joke about the person who's searching on the sidewalk for their keys for their car, and people are helping them search for the keys in the car, for the car. And somebody says, well, where did you lose the keys? They said, well, I lost them about a block or so that way. He says, well, why aren't you looking a block or so that way? He says, well, the light's better over here. Lights can be fine over here. You can have all the resources you want over here, but that's not going to find the keys for you. That's not going to allow you to do the work. So Dr. King had a specific direction. Now, some of us, like me, thought he should have had a different direction. We thought he should have been talking about Black nationalism or Black liberation theory. That wasn't what he did. He stayed consistently on his point, which then turned into our point. So 25 years I've been pushing this notion, and at some point in time we get to a tipping point. When we get to the tipping point, everybody starts moving in that direction. One of the things that struck me about Dr. King's work is that he insisted that those who are struggling with him maintain discipline. You had to come to the demonstration in your Sunday best. The men had to wear suits and ties, knowing they're going to get thrown to the ground, knowing that the fire hose is going to wash them down the street. But you had to look like you respected yourself. You had to sign a pledge before he would allow you to walk in his march. The pledge being, I will keep to nonviolence, I will keep to the direction and the focus of this march. Look at what we do today, and I say that in terms of being here in Portland, Oregon, during the altercations around the murder of George Floyd. There were three main sites for the demonstrations that were taking place. One was downtown. The second was at a police headquarters that way. And the third one was about 100 feet out my window right now. So I had a great view of all of the anger and all of the fires, all of the things that were going on. I was looking at it and knowing nothing will come from this. Nothing. Because we don't have the direction. We don't have the discipline. And the third part that we're missing is we don't have the devotion. Because our spirituality cannot be separated from our actions in the world. If I approach a problem from the point of view of my anger and my frustration, we all know the law of attraction. We get more anger, we get more frustration. From the first term of Donald Trump, first of all, I said early before anybody was thinking about it, I said, this guy can win. And he can win because I talk to the people who would vote for him. Most of us ignore him. We joke about him, etc. I actually talk to them. And I know what their frustrations are. They sound an awful lot like our frustrations, but we're not talking to each other. I'll say something else. He can win again. And he can do that because all of us are paying so much attention to him. At some point in time, we're going to recognize that the law of attraction is absolute and it doesn't modify whether or not you feel like doing something or not. If you are serious, you're going to maintain your discipline. I only have a couple of minutes, so I won't go any further down that road. Devotion doesn't mean, obviously, Dr. King was a Christian. Obviously, Dr. King was not just a Christian, but a Baptist minister. Not just a Baptist minister, but a Black Baptist minister. So he was steeped in his reality. Great for him. The reality that we are creating now is multi-faith, interfaith, and trans-faith. I tell folks I have 4 or 5 major religious traditions I pull from, and then I pull directly from the Spirit. And that is what's going to be the thing that gets us past and gets us through into a completely new way of interacting with each other. In my new book, and I don't even know if that's down here now or not. If you have any idea what my organization is, it's quite something. Everything on that side of the camera looks pretty good. Everything on this side of the camera is complete chaos. But I do have my book. It's called Birthing the Nation of Gaia. And what this is how do we, and this should be all of our goal, how do we here in the beginnings of the 21st century, for the first time for humanity on this planet that we know of, how do we act like one species? How do we act as though all life matters? Not all corporations, not all rich people, not all human beings, but all living beings, whether on this planet or not. How do we act like all of us actually matter? I am, if we set that as our goal, if we set that as our tradition, we'll be able to see things a completely different way. Our eyes will open in a completely different way. As long as our goal is something like the 350 milligrams or whatever it is of carbon in the atmosphere that I can't see anyway, I won't have anything that opens my heart. So yeah, I've been to 45 different countries, and Scott, yes, it's 45. It's not. I'm too. I don't know if I'm going to get up to 85. But our goal has to be something that is meaningful around the world. We're not we as those of us who are Americans tend to think that all of our problems are the problems of the world, and they're not. So our challenge is, and this was the challenge that King was reaching for when he was assassinated. It's the reason he was assassinated was because he was about to become international. He was about to start articulating. When you start talking about the Vietnam War, it's like, as long as you stay with your people over there, that's one thing. But when you start looking at how are we interacting with the world, and what leadership can we show to the world, that's when things get interesting. In my book, in Birthing the Nation of Gaia, I talk about what is the specific consciousness change that we need to have in order for us to catalyze this world movement. And I am not going to talk to you about that right now because my time is gone. And I would love to talk to you about that at some point in time, but right now that's not going to be it. What I'm going to do right now is dump into the chat box a bunch of links. This is to my email, if you want to get in contact with me, my website, if you want to get in contact with that, and a couple of my books, and that can get you into understanding what we're about, and understanding the depth of the discipline that is necessary, the depth of the direction that's necessary, and most importantly, the depth of our devotion. And this is my my discipline, by handing it back to Scott and saying thank you so much for allowing me to be co-host. I always love being here, and look forward to us connecting at some other point in time.
We definitely are overdue for a longer, where you can come on a Wednesday night show and we can talk more, because most people watching are watching on Facebook, and won't be able to get those links. I do want to spend a minute or two letting people know how you can reach him. His website is commonway.org. isn't that a perfect website for Sharif? Because he really is dedicated to creating a common way. He's the guy talking to the supporters that we maybe make jokes about. And I really appreciated you saying that. Anyway, at commonway.org is where you can learn all about Sharif, you can learn about Commonway, and you can shop. And he has some really beautiful things. He's got videos, he's got his books, and there's the book he was just talking about, Birthing the Nation of Gaia. I don't know if you remember, Sharif, that's how I first met you. Our mutual friend, Vineet Allen, introduced me to you for one of the shows we were doing on the climate and environment. And anyway, this is a very, very beautiful, beautiful book. So we love Sharif. He's a regular on our Global Peace Tribe shows. And I hope that you will be back with us very, very, very soon.
Look forward to it.
And you know what? We are making a Sharif sandwich. And on one side of Sharif was Nina Gray, and on the other side was Nina Gray. So it's the Nina and Sharif sandwich.
Is that the fourth D for delicious?
Oh,
excellent. I'm going to add that to my work.
Thank you so much, Sharif.
Yeah,
Your
thank
words
you.
always pierce right through to the heart of what is needed. Thank you. Well, let me tie up this sandwich then with a song called Hey, that'll hopefully put some punctuation on the potent words that Sharif just shared. Hey, what if we retold the story? Remember the glory of all of our differences. And hey, what if we rewrote the script? Let go of all that old shit in our heads. And hey, what if we laid down our weapons? What if we stopped pretending hatred was justified? And hey, what if we raised the bar up, demanded a little more out of our lives? Well, I've always dreamed about freedom, freedom, but I know we'll never be about freedom till it belongs to all of us. Men have spoke for years on war and peace, yeah. They've talked themselves blue and red in the face. Men have built walls where there could have been bridges held. Men created a race to separate. We'll blame it on our lack of urgency, or blame it on having better things to do. But as we rise together in 2024, turning a blind eye is something we must refuse. 'Cause I've always dreamed about peace and harmony. And I know we'll never be about peace until there's justice in these streets. I've always dreamed about freedom, freedom. much.
Usually when people are singing, I put the camera on other people. I couldn't take the camera off you. Oh, thank you. Just the passion and the power. The depth of your words come through so strong. I think, as I think about your songs and your videos, and I love the video you played about, love, for all forms of love. I love that video. I utilize it for our shows frequently. But as I really listen to you today, what it is you take your time, your songs are slow, and we hear the lyrics, and you sing with such depth. So your lyrics are really imprinted into our being as we're listening to you. And your lyrics are what this whole show is all about. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. There's a phrase in artistry that's like you can only sing or share to the depth of the room. And these rooms and this community that you gather hold such depth and reverence for life and such love. So it's such a joy to share these lyrics and these songs here because I feel like they're really received.
Yeah, absolutely. We love you. We love you very much.
I love being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. And one more time, a reminder, her website is her name, Nina Gray, GRAE.com. Nina Gray, GRAENINAGRAE.com. And yes, what a time to be alive.
Here we are.
Here we are. It's happening.
We are.
There's a lot of wonderful comments, of course, coming in. Susan writes that she's in tears listening to you. Omoshar writes perfect song choices. Nina, thank you. And more and more comments coming in right now. So thank you.
Thank you.
I want to go to Reverend Retta's website. We didn't get a chance to do that because I didn't have it before, but we have it now. And so again, Reverend Retta got us up to such a wonderful start. And her website is also her name, Reverend Retta, RHETTA.com. Reverend Retta, RHETTA.com. So that's where we can, learn more about her, the wonderful work that she's doing, her offerings, her heart revival work. I know a little bit more about that because we're part of the Artists Catalyzing Evolution group. And so we'll have to have her on to talk more about that sometime. All right. We're going to have a very brief Global Peace Tribe announcement tonight. The most important thing is really letting people know that tonight's going to be a longer show because we are going to have a tribute to our beloved brother, Sri Ramka, who passed away. And so that tribute will start at the end of the regular show, probably just around 8 or 8:15 p.m., kind of depending on how we're doing on timing. So far, we're doing pretty well on timing. The main thing that I want us to promote tonight is one of our other very significant beloved friends is having a medical emergency. And it's our dear beloved soul sister, Piper Dellums. And I was on the phone with Piper to see, she had a surgery on Tuesday. So I called her on Wednesday to see how she was doing. And I learned that she has some really significant bills that she's going to have to come up with the money for. And I said, well, are you going to have a GoFundMe? And she said, I don't know how to do a GoFundMe. So I do know how to do GoFundMes. I immediately started one for her right then and there, just in time to announce it to the Unity Earth group. So some of them donated. And so please, we need to raise $15,000 for Piper. And so I'm really asking people to please be generous. And quite a few of you already have. Thank you, Jay Mayer, who donated. And she was so touched that we had started this GoFundMe for her. She was crying on the phone with me. It was very beautiful. And here's the thing, even if you only donate $5, for someone in the hospital going through all the challenges of the health issues and feeling isolated, when when you go through and you can see so many different people donating, even if it's only $5 or $10, and we certainly appreciate those who can donate more, but whatever you can put in there, it's just lets her know, oh, wow, this person thought of me. This person took the time to make a donation on my behalf. We did a lot of fundraising for Trevor Miller at the very beginning of the pandemic when we first started doing Global Peace Tribe shows. And that money kept him alive. He had cancer. Doctors told him he had 3 to 6 months. And that was almost 4 years ago because of us, because of the money we raised. I was able to get him the treatment that he needed. And I think also just the love that he felt, our love. And I just sent out a note to the people who supported Trevor. Whoops, somebody is sharing their screen. And that's not quite what we wanted you to do, whoever that might have been. So it really makes a difference for us to support our family and our friends. So please do support our beloved soul sister. And she is, God bless her, she's planning on doing a show with us on February 3rd. That's coming right up. And she's like, don't worry, Scott, I'm going to be there. So hopefully let's all hold the vision of seeing her right here. It's what, I think 3 weeks from tonight. And I'm going to put into the chat box where you can put in the GoFundMe. Now, for all of you who are watching on Facebook, since you can't see the links, if you go to my Facebook profile page, I will also post the link of where you can support Piper right there on my Facebook page. So just go to my Facebook page, Scott Katamas, Katamas. I'm the only Scott Katamas on the planet, so you could easily find me on Facebook, and you'll see where you can donate for Piper there. And one more time, just going to bring up the page, that beautiful soul that we love so much. There she is. Let's take a minute, and as we're looking at the photo of Piper, let's just pray for her. Maximum grace for Piper Dellums. I'm going to have a minute of silence, and each of us can pray, hold the vision in our own unique way. Maximum grace for beloved Piper Dellums. Maximum grace for beloved Piper Dellums. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your green energy. And we are now going to go to the wonderful Dr. Marty Casey. Hello, Marty.
Oh my goodness. Hello, Scott, and to all that are here gathered today. This gathering has been so uplifting, so amazing. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And really most of all, I'm excited for Dr. King because I know that a part of his dream, he because he was so busy doing the work, he probably didn't put too much time into thinking about his legacy and what that would be, right? And because his death came so unexpectedly, even though he knew he knew the cost of his life and what was on the line. He knew his life was on the line, but he, of course, like all of us, we never know the day or the hour. But I would imagine that he never took out too much time to think about his legacy, and just to know that on this week he would have been 95 years old, and we, I just want us to know that that within itself is such a blessing, that he still lives vicariously through us doing the work, and that's probably like the most important thing that we could do, and it's the greatest gift that I believe he could receive. So I'm just excited for him. So thank you for having me, Scott.
Absolutely, Marty. And thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing. Of course, I want to hear how his vision has inspired you, what you do, and also tell our audience about what's happening with the Young Gun Institute and your work with the White House.
Sure, but thank you. And I'm going to try to move my stuff along pretty quickly. And what I mean by that is that I want to make sure that I utilize this time you've given me to say as much as I possibly can. I am just so grateful for the opportunity. The show thus far has been amazing. So kudos to all. You all have blessed my soul. Ungun Institute, we are basically we're a system that I've created to help individuals disarm from trauma. And when I think about trauma, I think about it not just on an individual level, but also on a collective level in terms of our generation, families, our communities. When we talk about trauma, it has no face, no place, or no race. It just doesn't. But what it does, trauma is transferable because it's an energy, but so is healing. And so what we really try to do is really bring it from a space of understanding that we don't have to sit in the things that cause us the hurt and pain, that keeps us stuck mentally and physically and spiritually and emotionally, but we can move past that. You can't change what happened, but you can change how you feel about it. So when you take on a different mindset, which is what I believe that we do every year that Dr. King's birthday comes forth, we understand that we are far away from this day when our families woke up to this headline. That was trauma. That was trauma to be able to see and read that headline that Dr. King was slain by a sniper. And so when we talk about ungunning, what are we ungunning? We're ungunning that trauma. We're ungunning and we're understanding that this man's life was taken intentionally by someone who also was carrying a lot of hurt and pain. Racism is that. Can we just speak on that? That racism is trauma and it's hurt and pain that's stuck. And when it's stuck inside of you, again, a lot of times it can lead to a violent act, such as gunning someone down. So ungunning, what are we ungunning? We ungunning what is in the heart of man, because I know if I can reach the heart of man, then possibly I would keep man from putting a gun in his hand. So I'm not here to tell you should own a gun or not own a gun. I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to tell you that. That's your business. But what I am here to tell you that if you don't deal with some of the things that you've been feeling for a lifetime that you're holding in your heart called trauma bullets, it can then turn to violence, and we will continue to lose some of the greatest leaders as we have when we lost Dr. King. Now, when we lost Dr. King, we understand that the body tells the mind tells the body, I'm sorry, what to do. The mind tells the body what to do. Dr. King was the mind of the culture. And so when his life was taken, the body scattered in its own way in its traumatic situations. We ran and we just didn't know how to recover from that. And what we find now as a result of just scattering as a body, not being on one accord, like what Dr. Sharif was talking about earlier, that we got, I mean, everybody got I believe in this and I believe in that and I believe in that and all of us are right. So if we all right, who can be wrong? So the bottom line is when the body scattered like this in their own beliefs, we lost that core leadership that Dr. King carried. So what I want to spend time today sharing with you, friends, is I want to talk about, because I just talked about this on Monday at one of the Dr. King celebrations here in my city, which is in St. Louis, Missouri. I want to share with you 10 core characteristics that Dr. King carried. Because if we can spread the good news, and as these leaders are asking for our vote coming up in this election year, presidential election year, and I happen to live in a city where we're coming up on the 10th year of post-Ferguson, after Michael Brown was killed in the streets by a police officer. I want us to understand, in order to heal from these traumas that we continue to see every single day, that we're going to have to identify some core things that Dr. King did so well. The first one is that Dr. King had a strong belief in humanity. Now I know today we like we said earlier, we gotta be inclusive of everything, the animals, the water, the trees, and all of those things. But Dr. King, he had a core belief in humanity. Man is inside of that word. So he didn't say a specific man, a white man, a yellow man, a black man, or a brown man. He said humanity. We got to get back to that place. His beliefs were grown from his values as a preacher, a Baptist preacher of the gospel, meaning that he poured from some core beliefs greater than his own. So it wasn't that Dr. King believed in these things just for his self-serving situations. No, he was pulling from, this is what I believe my God wants us to operate from this place. Today, in our leadership, they choose self. They choose self. As a matter of fact, they don't even choose to be a leader unless it's self-serving. We got to get back to having strong beliefs in humanity. Number 2 is empathy. Empathy. Dr. King, he empathized for all. There was nothing he was asking for, nothing he was marching for, nothing he was talking about, preaching about, standing for, that it did not come from a place of empathy. He was able to respect the views of so many. Why? Because he took the time out to hear and to see the people. How many of us are dismissing people today because they don't look like us? They don't live where we live. They don't have what we have. They don't do what we do. We don't even bother to hear from them and to even understand why they are asking for what they're asking for. Because I'm not you. He stood in that place of empathy. Number 3, he was a visionary. And I want you to be thinking about these and writing them down, because I'm going to ask you at the end to throw in the chat the number 1 you believe in. Because if we're going to go to the polls and vote for somebody in November, I want you to know who you looking for. What's going to be that core one you looking for? So I'm going to just give you to you one more time. Strong belief in humanity and empathy. And now we on 3. He was a visionary. Oh my God. This one I love, because this is where I operate from. See, being a visionary, he could see the future, even in dark places. That was reality. See, the dark place that when I created Ungun Institute here in my city after the unrest of Ferguson, the reality was police officers continued to kill young Black boys. But I didn't want to just stand in the hurt and the pain of that. I wanted to be able to see the future and the light. So being able to see the future and the light, God said, then Marty, create something that will help people show up better with one another and ungun and heal from the things that's causing them to kill. That goes beyond creativity. It's visionary. Dr. King, he knew that he was different. And he also knew that we lived with the promised land that he saw before it even existed. See, he saw little Black boys and little Black girls and little white girls and little Black girls holding hands. He saw that. But a lot of people didn't. They like, that we don't do that here. But he saw it. See, he was slain in 68. I was born in 71. I'm a beneficiary from the things that Dr. King saw before it even existed. So by the time I went to college as the first African-American Black freshman class president, and then that was in 1989. So then when 1990 rolled around and on his birthday, January 15, even though they had, passed the they passed it as to be a holiday, my college decided not to even acknowledge it. but I'm the freshman class president. I said, oh my goodness, what you mean we got class? Oh no, not today. I'm not going to class. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna knock on everybody's door with these little white boys and these little white girls and little black girls and little black boys, because we was in a co-ed dorm, y'all. Who could see that in 1968, that we was going to be living in a co-ed dorm? So I knocked on every door. I said, we're not going to class. Meet me downstairs. I'm going to teach you all some songs. We shall overcome. This little light of mine, happy birthday, Dr. King, Stevie Wonder's version, because that's the reason we even have this holiday. And we're not going, we're going to march up to the top as one. I got called into the office. The dean of students said, Marty, if you don't get back to class and get everybody back to class, you're going to lose your scholarship. I said, wow, it's hard to lose something that you probably never really wanted to give me to begin with. So you can have it back. I'm Dr. Marty K. Casey because I have 2 honorary doctorates, because on that day I dropped out of that university. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I'm Dr. Marty because of the work that I do, not because I sat in a classroom and let somebody else tell me I was worthy of something. Dr. King had already had vision and told me that I was going to be something. And because I stand on the shoulders of Dr. King today, that is why I am who I am. Number 4, excellent communication skills. It is necessary for us not only to be able to hear one another, but then be able to speak, to be understood. It's okay for you to believe in what you believe in, but what's not okay is when you feel that you can just talk down to me, talk over me, or don't allow me to talk at all. That's not fair. Dr. King had good communication skills, and he found the common ground in his firm beliefs in racial equality and civil rights and justice for all of, again, humanity. He was inclusive of all. Not just the people he lived next door to, not the folks that he banked with, not just the people that he grew up with. He said all people. I remember that my great-grandmother, she was born in 1910. She lived to be 93. She didn't die until I was like 30-some years old. My great-grandmother used to, every single year when it's time for me to do a book report, you need to do it on Dr. King. I said, I did it last year. Do it again. You still got a whole lot to say. Dr. King stood for a lot of stuff. Do it on Dr. King. Every year, my great-grandmother encouraged me to write about Dr. King, and I'm so glad that she did, because when I think about how we're trying to remove history and remove the names of those who have preserved history, I'm so grateful for my great-grandmother. And to know that my great-grandmother lived to be 93 and Dr. King would have been 95, I could truly already see him still pouring into us today. Oh my God, what they took from us. See, that one bullet didn't just slain and take the life of one man. That bullet took the life of so many. That one bullet, that's why I do this work at Ungun Institute. Number 5, being emotionally stable. That's necessary, because when you have a headline come out like that he was slain by a sniper, everybody want to go grab a gun and just start shooting anybody. But it's important for us to be emotionally stable, because we can't get work done by hurting people. Hurt people, hurt people. Healed people, heal people. I'm going to tell that to you again. Hurt people, hurt people. Nina, I hope you put this in a song and dedicate it to me, sweetheart. Hurt people, healed people, heal people. You understand, Nina? I love you. You are beautiful, sweetheart. Keep using your gifts. Dr. King would be so proud of you. Yeah. You understand that? What are you hurting from today, y'all? What are you hurting for? I keep going back to gallery because I want to see faces. I'm like, I feel. So I'm looking at you as you looking at me. And when I see you, I see me. I see me in you. I hope you see you in me. It is so important to understand for us to be emotionally stable. That is the reason that he lived by a non-violence approach, because he knew that there was no negotiations that could be done on the table anywhere, from a crack house to the White House. Nothing could be done if we was not emotionally stable to be able to hear and see and understand each other. And I don't know about you, but I can't understand somebody swinging on me. I don't know about you, but I can't understand somebody pulling a gun out on me. So that nonviolence approach didn't mean that he was a weak man. It meant that he was a smart man trying to understand and hear so many others. And we're getting far, far away from that. Every time I hear about a war that started, well, you know what that tells me? Oh, here's somebody that's trying to be powerful, using their position to try to overtake other folks just to show who they are. One man gets to make the decision that will wipe out a whole nation and kill so many others because of their thinking. Oh, I wish I was alive and could have been marching with Dr. King. Y'all, I'm only 5'1", and I'm telling you, my knees would have been up in my chest marching so big. You understand? He still today has been the most strategic thinker I have ever read about, because he understood the system in which we was living in. He understood that we could not go up against a nation of people when we have already been an oppressed people coming out of slavery, and now we talking about fighting with what? We don't even have hospitals. We didn't have our own schools. We didn't have a lot of things. What are we fighting them with other than our fists? How long is that going to last? We can't win like that. He knew it was a system. That's why Ungun Institute is a system. Oh, I'm not just building programs. I'm not just coming up with tools and techniques and strategies. I'm putting it in the system. So if you follow it step by step, we will be able to heal from the things that's been trying to kill us for years, generations. Generational curses broken. Because we got to fight here, not here. Number 6, again, he was inclusive of all people. I don't have to tell you that. Look at this screen. Look at all of the people that's not looking like you. But we here. We decided to come here tonight and be together. You still listening to a short Black woman because you love from your heart. And I love you from mine. We get to choose love. So when we don't choose love, what are you choosing? What are you choosing if you're not choosing love? That's on you to do. Number 7, he was a powerful motivational speaker. That's the reason that we still today, we quote Dr. King's words. We live by them. We put them in songs. We talk about it. We draw from it. We do it all because Dr. King was, he understood that his words held so much power. What words do, they hold power. There is life or death in words. In Dr. King's words, he gave us so much life. He said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. That's what he said. When Dr. King spoke, we heard him. We believed him. Why? Because we seen him walk in those things. We seen him walk in it. Our leaders today, we hear them say things, but we never see it. We don't see them doing what they say. Those are the ones we got to get back into positions of power. Number 8, he was a conflict resolution creator. As a civil rights activist, Dr. King believed that when you are in conflict with your enemies, love and kindness is the best way to convert them. See, that's that strategic thinking again. When you in conflict with your enemies, I got a meeting on Monday, y'all, for some people trying to steal some of my intellectual property. I got to sit at the table with them. I got to think like Dr. King because I'm in conflict with my enemies. You don't get to steal from me because I am a smaller institution than you are. But I'm going to go in and lead with love and kindness. I'm going to compliment them on all of the opportunities that are before us and how we can come together to work together. I want to see how that can happen because I believe in who you are and what you are doing. I'm going to say it with a smile because that's the best way for me to convert them. Dr. King taught me that. Number 9, he was a team player and a delegator of tasks. We cannot do this work alone. I don't care who you are, what you're working on, you cannot do it alone. And it is so important for us now to start picking and choosing people to be on our team that don't just believe in what we are doing, but you need to have people on your team that's not going to just give you a yes. And they're not going to just say yes to be there to get what they need, and then they gone. You really need to be praying and asking for people to be walking side by side with you because they believe in the mission. That is exactly who Ralph Abernathy was to Dr. King, along with so many, including Congressman, I'm seeing him, he passed away. I got a chance to show him around when he came here to Ferguson. I'm seeing him out of Atlanta. Come on, somebody help me, out of Georgia. He walked with Dr. King on cell.
John Lewis.
John Lewis.
I showed you that film.
Yes, Christy, John Lewis, and I'll bring up a picture here later. But I got a chance. I just mentioned 10 years of Ferguson. John Lewis came because of what happened in Ferguson to show his film here at Washington University. Out of everybody they could have called to escort him, they called me. I didn't get a chance to march with Dr. King, but I got a chance to escort and walk with somebody who did march with Dr. King. Who went in the film when they showed the part where he got hit in the head. He fell on my shoulder and began to cry. Congressman John Lewis, it was trauma for him to see it. He relived it from the screen. If you think I don't move today by these encounters that I have had. So when we talk about how do we keep carrying Dr. King with us on a daily, you gotta first respect what the man did. And look at what you're trying to do and what can you pull from it to continue to do. Last but not least, again, I mentioned it earlier. He was the greatest strategic thinker. Dr. King's strategic thinking helped him to organize the march, which galvanized more than 200,000 witnessing his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. Wow. Wow. I'm also an artist. I write, direct, produce stage plays like Tyler Perry, and I sing or what have you. I've been doing that longer than anything. But I'm mentioning all this to say I call myself an activist. And being an activist allows me to use my artistry to combine that with my activism when I show up. Dr. King, he was good by pulling other artists around him. Mahalia Jackson, everywhere he went, he took Mahalia Jackson and she would sing and she would help to raise money in the churches. Because when she opened up her voice to sing, like Dr. Ivy's going to do in a minute, they just start giving money, and that supported what Dr. King believed in. You all, we're going to have to start financially supporting our missions by giving to others. The last thing that I want to say is the 4 principles that Ungun sit on is give, forgive, heal, and then live. You can't live until you activate the system with giving first. Give, forgive, heal, live. Dr. King gave his life for his mission, for us to be able to hold hands, come on this screen and gather together. And we have to forgive the offenses, including the man that shot him. We got to forgive him so we don't get stuck in that hurt and pain of history. We got to be able to move on. We shall never forget, but we can't keep staying where we are in the hurt and pain. And once we begin to heal, we will heal others around us. And then we'll start activating and being able to tap into that thing of peace on earth. And when we tap into peace on earth, we then will be living our best life. Scott, thank you so much for having me here tonight.
Dr. Marty, I mean, you just rocked. What an evening. I mean, it's like each person has just shared so brilliantly with so much passion and so much wisdom. I'm going to go to gallery view for a moment, and let's just all give Dr. Marty twinkles and love. There's a lot of beautiful comments that have come in with people having tears based on what you're saying, Dr. Marty. Wow. And your Ungun Institute website's down.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you told me. I sure did. I'm so busy doing the work, we forget these things. So let me check into that right away. I'm gonna go off screen for a
You
minute.
can get it back on before
We will see what's going on here. You have to know that's not anything I handle, but I will be sending a message over to my IT team and see what's happening. But thank you for letting me know. But one thing I do want to do, since the chat is up, out of those 10 things that was named, everyone, could you please put the number 1 that matters to you? You don't have, please, if you could just name one of the 10 things, because I would just be interested to know, with those who are gathered here, the percentage of what we believe is one of the top one or 2 or 3 things that we are all looking for in a good leader. Because one thing I know, we all want to be safe. We all really want to live our best life. And we all want to be successful. Those are things, but if we don't start coming together on some of these core beliefs, we will continue to rob each other of those other higher things that we're looking for. So I would like to just see if where we are on this, and I'm gonna take a look at that chat. I'm gonna go on the screen and call my IT person. But again, thank you all for having me tonight. This show has been a blessing. Even if I didn't get a chance to speak, Scott, I was already blessed by everyone who's had an opportunity to speak and sing before me. You all have truly blessed my soul. Continue your work.
Dr. Marty, thank you so much. I love you very much. Look forward to seeing you again soon. I was blessed to be with Dr. Marty in Sedona at the Evolutionary Leaders Network last year. And thank you, Dr. Laura, for putting into the chat box the 10 attributes so people can review that. So yeah, everybody go through and pop in which one stood out for you. I'm going to read some of the ones that have already come in. Deborah Robin wrote visionary. Sharif also wrote vision. I wrote strategic thinking. Amy wrote compassion. Dr. Laura put all 10 in. Thank you. Leslie, conflict resolution. Eleanor Joy, emotionally stable. Carol, justice. Grace Denise, empathy and strategy. Carol, inclusive of all people. Karen wrote compassion. Jerry Anderson, visionary, strong communication. Roger, integrity and grace and honesty. Iona, empathy. Susan, you can't do it alone. Susan Bloomquist, we have multiple Susans here. Love and kindness leading to success. And from Ian, choose love. So thank you very, very much for all, and everybody's still coming up. I can't keep up with all of them, but thank you again, Dr. Marty. And, we just have like one incredible person after another. We're going from Dr. Marty to another member of the Evolutionary Leaders Network. And this is our dear friend, Shadia, also known as Dr. Mama Ivy. Again, one of our favorite people on the show. And Dr. Ivy, I'm so glad you're with us tonight. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And Dr. Marty and Dr. Sharif, you all are just setting it up for where I want to go. And I think that's because of our beloved, beloved, beloved Scott and your brain of understanding of what the world needs and how you put it all together is just so amazing to me, and I'm so inspired. And I realize the time is short, but so I just wanted to share a few words, and then I have a meditation a sonic meditation video that I want to share. But what came to me, Scott, and it happened today, we buried our 109-year-old aunt who has seen 14 presidents. And it was so amazing. They crowned her and everything. And it just made me realize the power of emotional joy, even though there was sadness there. And I said, this is what I want to talk about, because in my work of bioenergetic work for mental and emotional wellness, or the power of emotional joy. And I realized that this is what resolves hatred, violence, the unwillingness to love. And this is what's really moving me right now, is through the frequencies, the vibrational frequencies of emotional joy. There is literally a soul language of crystal frequencies that each and every cell in our body recognizes. And I believe that our ancestors understood that. This is why moaning and sharing and singing was so powerful for healing. And I wanted to take a few minutes and just talk about how Dr. King inspired this in me by his determination to inspire the reality of the definition of what humanity is: the ability to love, the ability to have compassion for one another, being creative and following our soul purpose. And my work in restorative justice in Washington, D.C. also helped me realize that we have to do that inner work for powerful outcomes. And that's a whole nother conversation, Scott, around what restorative justice is doing around the globe. And that is one thing that I do have a lot of passion for. We spent a lot of time, a lot of years teaching and training individuals on how to resolve harm, how to resolve trauma, how to make wrong right, how to repair harm that occurs, how to be more conscious of what it means to harm. And so many of us don't quite understand that. And so with brainwave entrainment, or the work that I'm doing now through quantum healing, is how our thoughts, our beliefs, and our attitudes affect the way that we experience life. And this whole key around what sees, the eye or the brain, it's the brain that actually sees. So if we close our eyes like we have been doing and visualizing a wholeness, we literally can manifest that if this is what we believe. And this is why I came up with the concept that I call sound vibronics and sonic mind streaming. Because sound vibronics is a mindfulness methodology. It's designed to use brain wave entrainment with crystalline frequencies in order to shift consciousness instantly. The power of sound, thought, and intention to manifest is what our superpower really is. Sonic mind streaming is really beginning to develop the ability to embrace the emotion of your intention as if it has happened already. So feeling the emotion of the future before it actually happens can shift reality as we know it or as we see it. And someone said earlier, and I don't know who said it, we're creating space for more than the human world. And I'm not going to go into a galactic conversation, but I will tell you that what I want to share today in this meditation are some frequencies that came to me through a galactic experience. To make a real long story short, I have lost or misplaced some crystal tubes that I used to play this harp that I'm going to share with you tonight. Couldn't find them anywhere. I went back home. It was 5 hours away, and my next door neighbor said that they had ended up on my front porch. And how they got there, through teleportation or whatever, it became very clear to me that our intentional thoughts can shift quantum reality, because I called them back to me. And there's a backstory to this, but it is still blowing my mind, but I'm receiving this because we do have quantum powers that we do not understand or don't use. And this is why we keep repeating things over and over. So sonic mind streaming really addresses the nervous system. And our nervous system is composed of over 100 billion cells, and we know them as neurons. And sound vibronics, using sound frequencies, can literally create new neural pathways in the brain. And as a psychotherapist, I learned this because I saw so many people in pain, emotional pain, that I wanted to find another way to be able to access that spiritual part of who we are in order to shift and change what we see and know as reality. This Frequency of Love project that Scott has been so gracious to allow me to share on his show now for almost over 2 years. I think it's been out that long, but love is the answer. So Frequency of Love project is a vision of creating emotional joy spaces all over the world. This meditation that I'm going to share with you in just a few moments, I'm singing it, the beginning of it, in several African languages. But I also say what it is that I am saying. This quantum healing experience begins with the vibration of the crystal harp. And then we create that space for you to do your inner work for powerful outcomes. The whole idea is aligning each and every cell with universal awareness and using these sound frequencies. And so, Scott, if I can share, can I share?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. Okay, and I have to share sound. And so I want to start with the crystal harp. This crystal harp, I think you can see it.
Yes.
Yes, so three of these crystal chambers got away from me, and some kind of way it made its way to the fifth dimension and came back to me. And it has a very different sound, a very different resonance, and is designed for emotional and physical well-being and healing. And we're going to start with that and then go into the Frequency of Love meditation. Enjoy this video designed by us. Obi and Chire, Obi Franame, Sankofa Gineasu, Asani Santi, Hima. The source of wisdom is understanding. Love lights its own path. It never gets lost on its way home. You want to know about your heart and love. Look inside and look around your heart. And embrace it with love. Unyan sambunimu ni matimasi. Ondura nira neve kwan. Asanti hina sumasu. Apina san kofa. Je ne suis bien tiré. Obifraname. Sankofa Shene Asum. Asanta Si. Hima. The heart chakra is the seat of love, touch, compassion, understanding, and peace of mind. The heart chakra is located at the center of the chest, directly at the heart level. I now invite you to bring your awareness to your breath. Deep breath in. Through the nose. Deep breath out. Through the mouth. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. All stress, all tension, all anxiety and fear are gone. Of the air as it flows through your nostrils and very gently out through your mouth. Deeply now. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Going deeper and deeper into relaxation. Deeper and deeper your awareness to the center of your forehead, right between your two eyebrows, the third eye. And gently close your eyes. Breathe. Deeply now. Right in the center of your mind, allow an image to appear there of bright white light. Breathe. Allow your body to go even deeper into relaxation, letting go of your shoulders, your arms, the muscles in your neck, your chest, releasing all hold in your abdomen, down even deeper into your hips, under your thighs, allowing that relaxation to flow into your knees, down into your calves, and over your ankles into your feet, and allow that energy to flow through each and every toe, filled with light. And as we collectively bring our awareness back into this space of where you are sitting or lying, let's begin to allow the body to bring its awareness back into your space. And when you are ready, just gently and quietly open the eyes. And welcome back. Frequency of love, that whole concept of intentional thoughts forms with sound frequency vibrations equals instant manifest. And just imagine that collective consciousness of the wholeness of humanity. If we could just get there, that is something that I am dedicated to. And I think Dr. Marty put it very clearly that when you have trauma, when you have depression, and you have these emotions that interfere with the flow, the energetic flow, it can easily turn to aggression. It can easily turn to violence. And the peace movement has got to find a way into the center of the brain. the heart and the brain. And this vibrational frequency that we just experienced is 432 hertz. And it is specifically designed to create calmness, relaxation, and wellness. And if we can begin to learn how to use and say those words that shift consciousness in a way that helps us to love, it starts with loving ourselves. So, vibrational frequencies of emotional joy is what I'm running after.
Well, you're leading the way. And all the people that we're seeing on this show are leading the way.
Yes.
And, you know, the peace movement does begin in communities and small groups of people finding each other. We are the imaginal selves finding each other to create the butterfly of the new paradigm. And
Yes.
you are a wonderful, wonderful voice for that. Dr. Mama Ivy Shadia, love you.
Thank you so much.
And I want to encourage everybody to go to her website. It's drivysoundspa.com. Dr. D-R-I-V-I-V-Y soundspa.com. And what would you like for me to show people on this amazing website of yours?
Well, if you scroll down just a little bit there, you can see where you can purchase the music right there on shadiabandcamp.com. You can receive, it's $11.11, and you can download these frequencies right onto your phone or anywhere. And then coming soon, Ian Levanzant has invited me to conduct a sound spa on her new streaming television channel. And so that's coming soon. It's probably going to be in the spring, sometime in March or April. That is coming along. And then I'm starting to do one-on-one private quantum healing sessions with sound. And I'm encouraging people to do this because it helps to align the chakras, but it also helps us to manifest whatever it is that is on our heart, and including health and wellness. But it's like aligning ourselves so that we can be in direct connection with the divine. It seems that when we are in that space, we can live our soul purpose, and things just seem to happen. And I'm thinking about Sister Piper, who we did that work together. And if anyone from this broadcast offers $100 or more into the Piper, I don't know, what is it? It's a
The GoFundMe for Piper.
GoFundMe, that we will actually send that video directly to you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Anybody, so that one, and we have not even released them to anyone individually, but I would be very grateful for anyone that has a interest in helping my sister Piper, because she helps so many people. And right now she's at a space where she needs our help. And you know, sometimes we don't know how to tell people, okay, I need help. But in this case, we're her voice.
You know, I just got a text message from Piper right now. Literally, she's tuned into you at 8:20 p.m. She's writing, I was there, my love, but I'm super emotional for some reason and just can't stop crying today. In fact, I'm going to go to the screen so you guys can see the screen. I'm super emotional for some reason and just can't stop crying today. I was getting embarrassed, but I loved Dr. Ivy, and I'm so blessed that she showed my little film with her meditation. I just love you guys so much, beyond grateful to see so much love. And she sent that at 8:20 p.m. and it's 8:22 right now. So
Wow.
you were like tuned in. And I'm inviting her to come back. I'm hoping that she will come back in.
Yes.
But
Yes.
thank you so much. You know, what a beautiful community we have. What an absolutely beautiful community to have.
And thank you so much for.
There she is. There's Piper.
Yay, Piper.
Piper, we need you to unmute, darling.
Oh, look at her. She looks so beautiful.
Oh, we love you so much,
Sorry.
Piper.
It's all right, girl.
Your tears are
Right.
welcome. They are
It's-
so welcome.
Each and every one of your cells is vibrating right now with love coming from all over the world, girl.
Mm.
And these frequencies work, and you know it. So now we're focused on this. Everyone that's listening, if you can, begin to bring that laser thought of light deep into the cells of my sister Piper and anyone else that is out there that is needing help, that is needing guidance, that is needing love. It starts within ourselves. So we're doing our inner work for powerful outcomes. And let's do it together, and let's put that laser thought right into each and every cell that needs support and energy. And it's as simple as that. We have this superpower. We just have to use it.
Piper, while you were logging on, I don't know if you heard, but Dr. Mama Ivy Shadia is donating her precious brand new video to everyone who donates to you at $100 or more. And
Oh, is it the video we did together?
Yes, one of them, the frequency of love.
Oh, that's when her magic medicine had to teach me how to create digital art for that one. Yeah, that was quite a blessing. Thank you, Dr. Ivy. Thank you so much. I'm really sorry that I'm being so emotional. I'm a little
Oh,
embarrassed.
please, you don't
Um,
I'm gonna go to gallery view. Everyone who's appreciating seeing her emotions, give us a thumbs up or a hand wave, right? Isn't that the most beautiful moment of a powerful show to see this sister that we love so much with us because she is our beloved soul sister. Absolutely. And your tears are beautiful. Your
Thank
tears are beautiful.
Thank you, Scott. Um, I want to thank our beautiful family. Thank you, Scott, and the entire family that's on right now with the Awakening World family. All of the love and the medicine and the prayers and the energy work and everything that you've been sending my way. So grateful. I'm also doing it's really deep spiritual work, to understand what I'm holding on to, grief, the grief or trauma or anything that's making imprints in my cellular body. So this is also a gift because I'm able to bear witness to what needs to heal deeply. And I really thank you for all of the practitioners that are part of my family here that are assisting me in revealing those aspects of the journey that I need to blow love and gratitude and forgiveness and grace into. And so thank you. And I love all of you. I'm so embarrassed right now. This was a beautiful evening. Thank you, Scott, for getting me up. And I'm sorry I wasn't available to be there 2 days ago. I'm having my fourth surgery on Tuesday morning. And once I receive that healing has transpired, I have the best oncological surgeon, I believe, in this area. And then we'll schedule what I'm hoping will be the final procedure. And just thank you for all of your love and support continuously. And also, I'm holding space for all of us who lost our beautiful brother. Thank you, Scott, for that beautiful recognition of him. And, we send him to be our guardian, one of the many guardian angels that are protecting and guiding us at this time. So, God bless his family and friends. And we're so grateful for all of the work that he's done in the world. And also, Mama Marine reminded us that we have made it to the age of Aquarius. So I'm really grateful that I lived long enough to see that the moon was in the seventh house and Jupiter was aligning with Mars. So here we are moving into the time where peace will guide the planet. And I'm grateful to be called to be part of that peace. So I send you all shalom and love and gratitude. Thank you. I love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much, Piper. And we will continue to track your journey. And thank you for your willingness to come on, even though it's a little shy about the tears,
Yeah.
but it's you're gifting us your vulnerability, your humility. We all know what a brilliant artist you are. You're a brilliant filmmaker. You're a brilliant activist. But to see you in your human self is also a gift. It's a beautiful gift. Thank you. And one more time, everybody, please, here it is. The GoFundMe. For all of you watching on Facebook, just go to my Facebook page. I posted it right up there at the top. And right now, let's all donate. And remember, donations of $100 or more. Thank you, Lois. I see Lois is at that level. I know that Jay Mayer came in over that level. So let's all donate. And even if you can't afford $100, $5 is wonderful. Any donation is appreciated. So thank you so much.
I just can't believe you set that up for me, Scott. I just can't believe. Sometimes it's hard to remember or even to receive how deeply loved you are, how deeply loved I am. This is such a gift. This in and of itself, I believe, is healing me even more quickly. And thank you for checking on me every day, Scott, every single day. You have checked on me and you've awakened me with beautiful blessings of friendship. And God bless you. I thank you for that. Thank you so much.
We'll check in again. And what an amazing transition opportunity, because now we are going to transition our show into a tribute to this beautiful man, Dr. Sri Ram Ka. I'm going to stop the recording for a moment, actually, and start again, because I want to make this a separate. We're going to start another one. Here we go. So we are now going to go into a tribute to this beautiful man, Sri Ram Ka. I think most of you know him. He's been on the Awakening World many times. I had the pleasure of being on the shows that he and his wife, Sri Master Lady Kira, did many times. And Omashar, our beloved brother, was on everything they did, I think, for the past year. And here's a photograph of them together. And we're going to spend some time, we're going to hear from some of the people who knew them. But for those of you who weren't familiar with them and from their work, they have a beautiful retreat site down in Ecuador. Here's a video that they recorded about 2 weeks ago. And it was their January 24 Ascension Predictions Revelations. There, you'll see, well, here, I'll bring it up right here. There you see our beloved brother Omashar. And I'm only going to play the first part of it. And it's quite powerful to watch. I mean, here's something recorded 2 weeks ago when nobody had any idea that he would be leaving his body. At least nobody who's here in this room right now. And so it's powerful to see their energy, their enthusiasm. We're going to get a little taste of, they show their beautiful property and the incredible pyramid that he built. And I'll have Dr. Jerry Anderson telling us a little bit about the pyramid as well. But let's just watch this video for a few minutes to see who they are, what they're creating, and the extraordinary power of it, and also how quickly life can change.
Welcome to Sri and Kira Live, the voice of passionate action. Celebrating 21 years of continual public service, Sri and
Welcome. I couldn't help it. I was so excited to be with you.
Namaste, beloveds, and welcome to Sri and Kira Live. And we are live from the Pyramid of Peace here in Paute, Ecuador, in the high Andes Mountains. I am wisdom teacher Sri Ram Ka.
And bowing before you as the master you are as I am Master Lady Kira Ra. And I wanted to share with all of you that when the music was playing as we were opening today, and I just love our opening song. The music always makes me feel wonderful to be with you. Shri was so beautifully saying, celebrating 21 years. And what I have to share with you is we're actually now in our 22nd. And on January 3rd, Shri and I celebrated our wedding anniversary.
Yes.
And it also initiated our 22nd year of continual public service that began on the night of our first date. And so we have literally, like, we got together and it was a bullet that said go, and we have not looked back. And you know, it took all of our blood, our sweat, our tears, and our money to put that on the planet. And we pray that it will offer the peace that it is here to do, and that more people will support more of these going up, because we are together better. And that's what January 2024 is about. We are in an extraordinary moment. Today is like crazy how much we have to share, right, Shri?
Oh, there's a lot going on in our
wow,
world,
guys,
in our lives, and the energetics of this time are really, it's like we have a little wind here today. It may or may not.
The winds of change.
But when the wind blows, we must tune in. We feel
go,
it.
Right?
Let's respond. Let's
You know
soar.
what, Shri? Let me show them. Here are our flags from Bhutan. Look, guys, look, this just shows you the wind right now. Is that the single most beautiful view? Just as I'm sharing it with you, look, it's just saying, hello, how are you? So there are 44 of those flags here. And Shri and I are actually up. I'm going to turn the camera the other way for a second, too. We are actually right up here. You see the pyramid behind us, but right up here through those flags, that's the Pyramid of Peace. And right up there, still undone after almost 3 years, is what we pray one day will be the Temple of Peace that you'll all really soar in, and I believe humanity will soar in. And right here, I'm going to try and show you, that is the Triple Goddess Lakes. And of course, I don't know if Kyla hears me, she probably doesn't, but right up there, this beautiful structure, that is our travel center and coffee shop where Kyla spends most of the day serving and helping people. And then you can see, if you come around again, there's the trail that leads you down to the other labyrinths. Oh, you can just see right there, that's one of the pools, I think, from the Triple Goddess Lakes. All right, so and more flags, of course. And how about right back here? There it is. And of course, that white tent right there is the giant labyrinth, the giant spiral labyrinth, which Shri and I really put in here to tie together our journey, because it was 22 years ago, oh my goodness gracious, that we found Tosa Ranch, New Mexico. And that we moved to New Mexico, and where the first spiral labyrinth, double spiral labyrinth, was created with the giant Merkaba that we put up on the planet, built our first giant pyramid on the ley lines, had UFO hunters come and everybody going crazy. And that was 22 years ago. From that humble sign on the planet that said, I am here. Right? And from Shri and I looking at each other, he's thinking he's retiring when he marries me. Little did he know, this poor man, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, when Spirit calls, we have one good answer, and that is yes.
No matter what, we will always say yes. And
I'm pausing there because I choose to believe that Spirit called and Shri said yes. For whatever reason, he's going to be able to do greater work from his higher dimension, the astral plane, wherever he is now. That's how I choose to see it. I know a lot of the people watching our show are part of the Twin Ray community, and they knew Shri quite well. And so immediately when I found out what was happening, I alerted them. And Shakina Moss shared that they spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and she didn't say anything to him, but she said to Sanandaji, he's getting ready to make his passage. She saw that he was getting ready to leave. Many of you might know these. These are the Egyptian rods that he created. He created these, and many of us in the Twin Ray community and even outside the community use these rods. He was a brilliant inventor, wisdom keeper, great colleague, really easy to work with. So anyway, I'm going to bring up our beautiful beloved brother, Jerry Anderson, the wild monk, the Mystic Monastery. Jerry was there for the dedication of the pyramid, which we covered on the Awakening World. And when he found out that Sri was ill, he immediately flew to Ecuador and was there this week while everything happened. So, Jerry, I'm bringing you up, and you're on camera. And first of all, we love you, Jerry, and thank you for answering the call, going straight to Ecuador, and would love to hear kind of your experience and anything you wish to share with the audience.
Thank you, Scott, for this tribute to our master wisdom teacher, Sri Ram Ka, who visited Earth between July 10th, 1952 and January 18th of the 2024. It's interesting, both of those years was a year of the dragon. And yes, it was wonderful that I was actually able to spend one last day with him in his conscious state of space. And he said a very interesting thing, and he always said it in such a nice way. He said, Kira and I's teachings are not entry-level teachings. I thought that said it in a lot of ways. Our highly sensitive, empathic, mature souls group, our worldwide community, is supporting and helping in these moments for Master Lady Kira Ra and integrating all these events. It was an instantaneous soul recognition the first time I connected with Sri and Kira, and it was on the Awakening World just a little over a year ago. They both hold such a profound clarity, integrity, and authenticity and wisdom expressed in their sincere and deep love for each other. When they would look at each other, they literally glowed. I'm reminded in this moment of Rumi's thoughts as we are all empathically feeling with Kira. God can only enter a broken heart, Rumi said. So in these moments, let's inhale with our hand on our heart, an Ave Sa breath, breathing in this divine life and exhaling anything that's done serving us. In that spirit, we allow ourselves to be here now, to be open and ready as we are guided to serve the one who sent us to earth. We have invited your Yoga Self-Ascension community members to share their fondest memories of Sri Ram Ka and express their divine and deepest sympathies and caring thoughts for Master Lady Kira Ra. So, Scott, maybe you can bring in some of the people that would like to speak. I know.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up Omashar next. And Dia Therese, if you wish to speak, okay, great. Give me a thumbs up. And here's Omashar, who, once they found Omashar, well, there was just no stopping them. He was on every broadcast they did. And so, beloved brother Omashar, I'd love to turn it over to you to share whatever you wish to share. And then we haven't had a Omashar song yet today. So if you have something in mind you want to play for them in their memory, that would also be wonderful.
Yeah, I do have. And seeing Sri now, I'm just like so sad, dude. There's the F going to come up there, but I'm in the Piper mood now. I've been so touched. Sri and Kira, when I first met them, and it was through like Jerry, it was through this show, I felt an immediate soul recognition. And then when I met them in LA, when they came to the Convergence, I met them in person, and we had a small amount of time with each other outside of the event, just by ourselves. And we just were in a circle with each other. We put our heads together, foreheads together, and said nothing. And I just felt I'd known these beautiful beings forever. There is no word, and there's no words that my mind can bring to this moment about his passing, because I'm so effing sad that he left. And I cannot even imagine what Master Lady Kira Ra is going through to bring this all into the center. That is outside of everything that I could communicate in this moment. But I'm with Scott in that when he was in hospital, you know, from what I understand is the Kali Yuga ended just a couple of days ago. There was this phenomenal window open into some amazing new high spirit opportunity. And if I'd have chosen a moment to go, it would have been then. And because when those windows are open, they're open for a blink of an eye. And then maybe another 20,000 years, you get another opportunity. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But when Sri passed, you know, he's here more now than he was then. I was so full of his presence, let's say, when I was in my bed. I could not sleep that night. And I just, when he was in the hospital, I was just breathing for him. I hoped that he was going to not leave. However, he did. And when he did, I just felt this massive light and this massive communication. Now I can do even more for you than I did when I was here. And that is no balm for the hearts of those that are devastated and left. But it may be the truth. And so the song that brought us together is, I'm just going to play it now and then we can go on to the next thing. It's not too long, 2-3 minutes. There's a shorter version of it, is when they recognized the sound from my voice resounding with their hearts. I love their teachings. They have brought me so much. And I'll leave it there. And let's just sing the song and we'll get on with it. Sri, you're a beautiful brother. You will always be my beautiful brother. I love you always, and I will see you again. We will all see you again in one way, shape, or form. And
deep breath, everybody. Okay. When there's nowhere left to turn, and you're feeling kind of low, slow down, and breathe me in. When the smile has left your face, and the tears roll down your cheeks, slow down, and breathe me in. When your river's running dry, and you're driven to your knees, slow down, and breathe me in. I am watching you, waiting for you to let my love into that lonely life of yours. Listen to me, and we can be together free eternally. out of touch. And you need someone to hold. Slow down, and breathe me in. Slow down, and breathe me in. We love you, Shri, and thank you for your life, and thank you for the service that is coming now. We will get through this together as a family. So blessings and namaste, dear brother.
Thank you, Omashar. I'm going to put the camera on Dia Therese, who knew them for quite a while and spent time with them down in Ecuador. And she's got the rods in her hand. Hello, Dia.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you well.
The famous words. Well, I'm speaking to you. You can see me I'm speaking to the phone that Shri and Kira first popped into. They just showed up. You know how smart our phones are, about 5 or 6 years ago. And I was compelled. Who is this couple? How can this be? Who are they? And so eventually I figured out how to find them more and more. And Shri he spoke right to my heart. He's only 8 years younger than I. And so we have had many of the same teachers over the decades. And Kira, I had no idea what she was saying, but I knew I was captivated. So, and as Kira has said many times, she asked Shri to tell people what she said. This man is the true spiritual Renaissance man. And the spiritual Renaissance man, the multidimensional man in form with that you can as you can touch. And when I was in Tosa Blue Mountain, which is the TOSA, stands for Temple of Self Ascension. And this was heresy to a bona fide when I was young, a Christian, to be that I could ascend. But anyway, and I was there when Scott, when you had them on your program. That was a precious moment to me. Shri speaks absolute truths through what I call his 3 Ps, his poetic, spiritual, psychology. Spiritual doesn't start with a P, does it? Anyway, his psychology was so clear. And their first date, their first date was someone had put Kira on spiritual online stuff. They had found each other. Their first date was David Hawkins' lecture. He wrote The Power versus Force, and Shri, that was a component of Shri's life, what he gave to us. And that is the measurement, the calculation, the calibration that David Hawkins brought to us of the map of consciousness, of the ascension to consciousness. And Shri deepened and broadened that. And his book, which any of us who can get behind having that book completed, I think will be another huge gift to the planet. So I could go on. I don't want to take all the time. His near-death experience just a few years ago later. Do I have another couple minutes?
Sure, go ahead.
uh, about, I don't know, within a year of the time I started finding them and getting on their Zoom classes and taking those classes and buying all their 5 books and on, he had his near-death experience in the Cuenca Hospital, which is about a 40-minute to an hour drive from the Tosa, what they call the Tosa Blue Mountain, their property there. And the first we knew of it was Kira announcing, and there Sue announcing, please, Kira, Shri needs our help. And it was my first real experience in being involved with running out, getting candles, just praying ceaselessly. And then that Shri saw us. He reported later, Akira had told us in the subsequent months, years, that Shri saw us all doing our most sincere prayers, as he has seen us and does continue to see us. And that broadened my understanding of a little bit of how it works. And so I'm forever grateful for that. And I think those are the 3 points that I want to make. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tia. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
You know, one of the many accomplishments that he created, but one of the great accomplishments was creating the Pyramid of Peace. And they brought together many different tribes in Ecuador that had been at war with each other, that had not had communication with each other, and together created this incredible Pyramid of Peace. We carried the grand opening on this show. And so I do want to show a brief little video. It's short. And we're going to see a little bit of Shri. We're going to see our brother Jerry, just to celebrate the Pyramid of Peace and this incredible accomplishment.
Well, it must be from the Rainforest Renaissance video. Yeah. Perfect.
Our ancestors, the wise ones, and they teach us to remember. Each of us is like a finger. And when we cooperate, we become a hand. We can do anything. No more waiting for someone to rescue. We will do this together.
Thank you for being true to your heart and arriving here.
And to remember that my eyes are your eyes, that my heart is your heart, that we are one.
It is important that we recognize that our great planet has rainforests all around the world.
Y estoy muy agradecido a la vida y a las personas que están formando este evento, y ya que hemos podido encender un fuego en este Inti Raymi.
They're a beautiful space. If you want to learn more, down in Ecuador, which I still hope to visit sometime, it's called Tosa, T-O-S-A, Blue Mountain. And you can find out more information about it by going to Tosa, T-O-S-A, bluemountain.com. We're going to conclude this part by going to our beloved friend Fanny, who's going to play her harp. And while she does that, I invite everybody to add their prayers, and especially for us to add prayers for Kira. There was no real warning that he was ill. It happened very suddenly. And I don't think we even know exactly what happened. I think they're going to have to do an autopsy. My understanding is nobody quite knows what happened. So, of course, for her, there was such a team. To all of a sudden have her partner gone is such a shock. So, of course, tonight and throughout this next month, let's send her lots of prayers. And I'm going to keep that picture up. I go back and forth between the picture of Shri and Kira and our beautiful Fanny. Hello, Fanny. And before you play Fanny, is there anything you'd like to share about your experience of Shri?
I feel very emotional, sensitive. I spent time with them in LA at the Harmonic Convergence. They invited me to play my harp. And they were my favorite people on the planet. It was such an honor to be with such a power couple. They were so joyful, alive, and they were truly masters of ascension. Yes, and so here I am to play my song. This all my heart is so sad, and I love what Omar Shah said. Omar Shah, you're such a dear, dear friend, brother of the light. So I feel the same, and we will meet again, and he has become a light upon us, and it's such a sad thing to lose an ascended master on our planet at this time in our lives. How could that be? I don't understand. I don't get it, but it's okay. Let's be joyous and breathe and stay in our light. That's the message. So I have my little harp that I brought with me in LA because I am on the mainland, and my sweetheart is in Toronto with his mama. So. Breathe love, breathe light, breathe over. As I am, as you are, as we are, stars. I'm sad, always in my heart. The fire of love, your love is burning. The fire of your love is burning, burning.
Beloved Fanny, we're not able to hear your music. I think you don't have original sound on, so we're not able to actually quite hear it.
You don't hear it?
Well, little bits and pieces. It comes and goes because
Yeah, I think my internet is cuckoo tonight. I'm so sorry. I lost you for a while. So
we are feeling your love so much.
Yes.
Feeling the love. And your harp, what the tones that we did here were beautiful.
Thank you.
And I know that you'll be on the show many, many times in the future.
Love you.
Love you so much. Love you so much. We are going to go to one more person, our beautiful sister Charlotte from Canada. Charlotte, and I love that photo you have on behind you. It's just like Shri overlooking your shoulder.
Yeah.
There he is. That's beautiful. Tell us about his desire for us to support the Global Minga.
What a beautiful show, and thank you. I was doing so well till Omashar and Fanny. I had it together. So thank you for those beautiful tributes. And certainly, I think so many of the themes that have come through tonight's show are really what Sri embodied in his vision and in his work. And, you know, just recently we had our show about Ubuntu, which is that collective well-being that we share. I am because you are. And we know this is reflected in every culture has some version of that principle. And so in the Andes for thousands of years, the principle has been Minga. And Minga is really about that collective action. You know, Dr. Marty's teachings tonight, again, everything was in such divine alignment. But Minga is really about that collaborative action, that when we come together, that we can enhance the well-being of all. And that what we do together, we can make things possible by coming together. And so Global Minga, which is the charity that was started by Sri and Kira, is an incredible passion project of Sri's. And it really is about the heartbeat of creation. In one of the videos that was shared, they talked about the rainforests, and those, of course, are the heartbeat of the world, the lungs of the world. And so protecting our precious climate, our precious earth, and what better way to do that than by supporting those caretakers of the earth, which are those precious people that are indigenous to the rainforest. And right now, they're facing incredible hardship. The people of the Andes, 80% of the indigenous people of the Andes are living in malnutrition, access to water, access to basic health is so limited. And so Global Minga is a charity that brings folks together and really does this global work by working in community, not by coming in and coming from above, but really by working on the ground. And that's really reflected in this beautiful photo where Sri and Kira are very much a part of the communities that they're supporting and working with. And so one way to really honor his legacy and to really support this work continuing is to support Global Minga. So we've put the links into the chat. And Sri and Kira are so incredibly generous. 100% of everything that's donated goes directly to the cause. They donate all of their time, a lot of their services and products. When you sign up for them and you make a donation, 100% of all of those proceeds go to Global Minga. It's really something that they're very, very passionate about. The Peace Pyramid was a project. They've just opened a mobile clinic in Paute in their community to bring accessible health care to that community. They're really doing incredible work. Sri was working on all kinds of technology, and there's that beautiful photo, to help with things like rainwater collection, to help with things like water filtration, simple systems that can be built using the existing materials in their communities to help filter the drinking water. And so by supporting Global Minga, it's a way to really, it's all, for all of our collective well-being, and it's a way to really support that legacy and help that work continue. And it's really up to all of us now to help what he has begun and really help that work continue. So any amount at any time and can be, shared. And I know that we're also supporting beloved Piper, and maybe people have supported Piper tonight and can also support Minga, or they support Piper this week, and then we can support Minga at any time in the future. I know I supported Piper tonight. I will also be supporting Minga. On Monday, the Monday Mastery program will celebrate and honor wisdom teachers Sri Ramka's life. And that's going to take place Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And I've also put the link in the chat so you can sign up to attend that. And again, any donations for any of those programs go directly into Global Minga. So that will be a really powerful gathering. And the incredible courage and strength and resolve of Master Lady Kira Ra, that she's actually going to have that scheduled program continue, is just incredible. So, and I know that we're all holding her in our hearts, and the incredible generosity and love that's re-embodied is really embodied in this work, and that's something that we can all contribute to.
So much, Charlotte.
Thank you.
And if anybody has the link to where the memorial will be, again, Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. I know that that's when they regularly have a regular program. So if anybody has the link or how.
That's it there. That's it. I put it in the chat for you, Scott, the last one.
Okay, great.
And it's under the Monday Mastery. That's their Monday program.
Okay. And so for those of you who are watching on Facebook, if you go to shriandkira.com, shriandkira.com, and that's where you'll see that's kind of their main webpage, and you go to their Monday Mastery program, and that's where we can all kind of tune in, and there'll be, no doubt, a beautiful memorial for him. Before we turn it over to Deborah and the KES Healing, Jerry, is there anything else you'd like to share from Ecuador, down in Ecuador, where you are?
Yes, I would say that Kira is doing quite well. Of course, it was an intense impact for her to go through, to be able to be here for her during that whole period was really important. And we're getting everything ready for a ceremony on Monday in the monument that he actually created for himself. So I invite everybody who would like to be part of that ceremony. Follow the link at shriandkira.com so that the $11 that you pay to watch the Zoom goes directly to the Amazon people. So, yes, please come.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Thank you for being there. And how long are you planning on staying in Ecuador?
I'm going to be here till the February 3rd.
Okay, great. So we'll, maybe you can even come on in again on our next show and just update us a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. God bless our whole tribe. Thank you for all the prayers and support that have been poured out to Shri and Kira in this time.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
There was a question about what these Egyptian rods are. So I'm going to complete this part of our tribute and start recording a third time for Deborah's KES healing. And we'll have to work it out so that we can always see you at least. So here we go. We're going to stop recording. And we're going to start a new one. And Deborah, we now conclude every Saturday night show with a KES group healing. Beloved Deborah is going to do it tonight. And I'm wondering, in honor of Shri, if you could tell people a little bit about the rods. I'm going to back up so that the computer, and let's just make sure that the computer is seeing you.
Well, good evening, everyone. First of all, it is my great honor and, of course, pleasure to be here, united with all of you beautiful souls again. And what a powerful show this is and was until now, and definitely, yeah, will continue to be. I happened to, before I met Scott, the beloved Trin Ray had been highly talking about these rods, and happened then to order them from Shri. And I think at least a couple of like 20, 30 or maybe more right away. And here they are. These are mine. And so that these are Scott's. So and I remember, I'll never forget, I had them for the very first time in my hands. And yeah, beloved Sanandaji explained to us really how to hold them in a particular way. And, the copper one on the right, the silver in the left. And immediately I closed my eyes and I could feel the connection to the stars and to this tremendous power that goes through them while we meditate and connects us to the power of the light of the universe. And since then, I have not spent a night without them, literally. I even sleep with them because it really just connects me so much. And I couldn't believe it when then Scott explained to me that he knows the person who had invented them. And of course, Shri being Shri, I was just, very, felt very blessed to at least have gotten to know him and his gifts for all of us. So I will definitely include his beloved wife, and of course also Piper, and beloved Munya, what's her name, into our healing tonight. I happen to know from our Ascended Masters that beloved Shri has literally gone to the other side because he can help us more on the other side than here. And believe it or not, but I was before I came prepared myself for this healing and was in direct connection with him. So he's with us tonight, definitely. I can really feel this beautiful, beautiful light and love, and will try my very best to emanate through these hands his love and light as well for all of us. He is in deep gratitude for what's happening tonight. That's as much as I can say. I hope you feel the same. Do you have any more questions? Yeah, Shri is here. There is no doubt. He's literally speaking. Oh, my volume is too low. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Deborah, but if Scott could turn the overall volume up a little bit, then, because you get really quiet sometimes because you're so soft, then he can technically raise your volume.
Yeah, this is always very emotional. These are very emotional moments for me. Yay! Shall I start? May I start? Is everybody ready? As you know, please just make yourself comfortable and yeah, I'm more than ready. More than ready. All the masters are with us for this very special and unique show, and holding the rods in my hands is going to empower this healing even more. And I would say I start with a little 2-minute meditation for all of us to bring us even more anchor us even more into the powerful light. And then I would start with a prayer in Omar Shah, if you want to take it with your beautiful music from there. That would be awesome. Thank you. So I invite us all to close our beautiful eyes and to deeply center ourselves first. Feel that light coming from the source, from the central sun, through our crown chakra all the way down, through our root chakra, anchoring into the center of Mother Earth. And coming back now from the center of Mother Earth through our chakras into our heart. And expanding our hearts and the love and the gratitude towards all beings, helping all beings to be happy. May all beings always be happy. And in peace and in harmony in every realm. And by feeling the love and gratitude that we emanate for each and every second, in each and every second of the precious moment of now, right here, right now. Let us deeply together breathe in that very love and joy and peace that is coming from the source, reminding us that this is truly who we are. And let us breathe out together everything else we don't need. Let us breathe out the day, everything that holds us back from feeling who we truly are. And one more time, let us breathe in from the center of Mother Earth all the way up to our heart. That light filling us with love and light and gratitude, expanding above, encompassing Mother Earth and above it, all the way back to the universe, encompassing all beings, embracing them with our love and light. Feeling the light coming from the source and now breathing out everything that we don't need. Any sorrow, any any sadness, which is all is allowed. Everything is divine, and let us breathe it out. And one more time, let us breathe in the gratitude, the grace that is always with us, the love, the unconditional love. Feel the toroidal field that we are. The more we give, the more we get back. And breathe out the last particles that are not helping us. Still of mind and clear of heart, I enter now into the cosmic portal of holy, where the higher self of each and every soul in this beautiful container awaits. With open heart, complete trust and surrender, and in the name of the divine cosmic Christ, I ask now for the manifestation of the highest timeline reality for each and every soul to become realized of mind, body, and soul with gentle lessons and graceful process, and increase this holding as much as the cosmic law, physical body, and everyone's soul shall allow. I choose now to live in the reality where the healing has already been accomplished, the fates have been altered, and our prayers answered through thine holy presence of love. While honoring the free will of all, I give my complete thanks and gratitude for all that has already occurred through your mighty presence and thine eternal light. I am free, the soul is free, and all is free. And so it is. Amen. This body, Deborah Juliette Kreuzer, calls upon the cosmic Christ, supreme intelligence, to support and facilitate this group KES holding session. I ask permission from all receivers present to receive this group holding with the highest good and divine grace for all involved. I request on behalf of all the receivers to become aligned for the duration of this session to the divine intelligence of Christic energy system with grace, with ease, and with joy. I invite the cosmic Christ energy to connect with us now in the most appropriate way for all involved. May all that transpires into this microcosmic reflection of our group constellation support and uplift the ascension of the entire human collective in all sentient life. I also call forth assistance from the Divine Heavenly Mother and Heavenly Father presence to overlight this group container with pure, unconditional love from the Most High. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Thank you. And so it is. Amen. Oh. so much, beloved Omashara. It is complete. It's done. It is done. It is done. Yeah. Shri, what an honor it was. Shri is with us and helped so much. So much. Please understand that we are not doing anything. It's just the light coming through us, and when we feel Ascended Masters helping us. And this was very special to me tonight. Thank you so much. Shri was definitely helping us.
Thank you, Deborah. It's always wonderful to get people's responses. If anybody wants to put in the chat box of tonight's KES healing or any of these KES healings are impacting you, try and get it to you soon. See both of us there. And Dr. Laura says, thank you very much. And I see that we still have 34 people with us tonight. Thank you for staying with us. There's one more thing that I thought would be good to share while we wait for some of those to come in. And it's one other picture of our beloved that I think is quite fun. So as I was going through, I found this photo of Sri Ram, and I think it's a wonderful imagining of where he is right now and what it must be like for him. And so I thought this would be a fun way to conclude our evening, is looking at this beautiful picture of him. And he is certainly with us in wonderful ways. And there he is in his new spirit body, or probably his old spirit body, depending on how you want to look at it.
He is not wearing any glasses.
Yeah, that's true. He's probably not wearing glasses. That's true. The glasses are probably gone. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful show. Very powerful. And of course, we'll be sending out the replays on Mondays. We always do. A couple of last little announcements. On Wednesday, January 31st, we're going to have 3 pet psychics with us. So those of you who have dogs or cats and you want to get readings for your dogs or your cats, make sure you join us live Wednesday night, January 31st. Also, I am going to be doing an interview with Marianne Williamson, and we're going to carry that in February. So we've got some wonderful things coming up. Thank you all very much for being with us tonight. I'm going to bring up one last time Jerry and Omashar. What's that? What do you want, Tony?
Deborah, thank you so much. That was profound. And yes, we were enlightened and enlivened by the overlighting presence of you-know-who. So
Did you feel the power tonight?
yes.
Wow. It is really special.
Okay. Thank you. Was there something you wanted? Oh, she wants me to read out some of the comments. Dia writes, "Oh, bow to you, Deborah. I really feel when I'm experiencing your KES maximum gratitude." Thank you
so much.
Absolutely. Ayada is thanking us, thanking all of us. Omashar, myself. We love you, Ayada. Dr. Laura says, "Thank you, Deborah. Your healing was so comforting tonight."
I could also feel Piper a lot tonight. Yeah, during the healing. Yeah.
Good.
So.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It was a very, very special evening. And Jerry, thank you for going straight down to Ecuador, being our ambassador down there. And please give Lady Kira our love. Let her know that her Global Peace Tribe friends are all praying for her, thinking of her. Let her know about tonight, all right? And we'll see you on Monday at the memorial.
Love you, Jerry.
Hope to see all of you Monday at the
I
memorial.
love you all.
Love you too. So Monday, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Go to shriandkira.com to register for the 5 p.m. for their experience, the memorial. And then we'll also see you on Wednesday after the Awakening World. I'm going to go to gallery view one last time, everybody. There you go. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being with us. It's good to see all of you that have your cameras on. God's blessings. Good night.